And here's my first claim. Ignoring human rights equals abandoning his own human rights. According to Constitution numbers 23, it's set to prevent prejudice to the liberty of others, to avoid an imminent crisis, maintaining social order, or are necessary to promote the public interest, but shall not be restricted by law. Based on this Constitution, we cannot hurt people without any reasonable purpose. Besides, do you think that murderers are still qualified to be called a human being? And my second claim, capital punishment could restrain the rate of criminals. England abolished the death penalty in 1966, repealed 2 decades after the homicide rate increased by 60%. The rise was much lower than other types of crimes, such as violent crime increased by 160%. The situation of England proves if the capital punishment is abolished, the rate of criminals will possibly increase. So it is obvious that the death penalty is necessary. And third point, capital punishment is supported by the majority. Kyoto News recently did a telephone survey showing that supports to or tends to favor the death penalty. Proportion increased to 75.9%, substantially more than the opponents tend to oppose for 19.5%. The system and law in democratic society are established by every citizen of the nation. Obeying the law is every citizen's duty. And my last claim, the law must do victims and victims' family justice. According to the eye for an eye, tooth for tooth, the principle of the code of Affirmative, which means if George rapes Mary's dog, the cost George needs to pay is his dog should be raped by Mary. Of course, it is ridiculous and impractical in modern society. However, wrongdoer must pay the cost. Law is established to rule and warn citizens that what they deserve if they against the law. The main purpose of law is maintaining the social order.
About your first guide, human right is inherent. No one can easily abandon or deride it. No matter the murderer or the victim and their families. If the victim and their family hope the nation to judge the murder the capital punishment, they seem like to revenge as the murder. And the second, the data negative side shows is only a part of all. There are some nations which abolish capital punishment, but the rate of criminal does not highly increase apparently. For instance, one of the first country to argue if they should abolish capital punishment, Germany. The rate of criminal after they abolish capital punishment didn't highly increase apparently. And there's other countries, for instance, France, Canada. This country have abolished capital punishment, but the rate of criminal does not highly increase. Third, not everything can be determined by majority. It is cruel. Innocent citizen can determine one's life just by vote. Life should not be judged this way because it also defies the declaration of the rights of man and the citizen. And last time, hatred will bring more hatred. In history, those cruel things will never be stopped by revenge. We human beings live in the earth are the highest level of creature because we have reason and thinking. We must try and to learn, forgive others, and show our mercy. Then we are fit to what we are called human beings. Thanks.
First, like what I mentioned, when someone does such cruel things as animals, should he be treated as human beings? Unless the victim was trying to do the exception of Constitution, or the murder should not be protected by the Constitution. And second, probably some countries' rate of crime decrease after abolishing the death penalty, while the rate of recidivism does not decrease. In addition, sexual offenders and drug addicts are liable to recommit when they were paroled. For example, the artists in Taiwan who use drugs, and recently on the news there's a rapist called Lin Guozhen, raped and killed a juvenile girl after he was discharged from prison. However, a good man is hard to find, unless everyone in the world would never commit crime. The capital punishment does not need to perform. And third, majority represent the level of civic society. The jury system in court is also a symbol of majority. A human being's life cannot be determined by the majority unless this man does not against the law seriously. And about your last point, if the wrongdoers can be forgiven, the law of our country exists in name only, and we will live in a chaos society. Besides, only immortals has a right to tolerate a guilty person. However, we are just mortals. We are just mortals.
Thank you. And let's now there are some nations still struggling in abolishing capital punishment. It is a trend and consequence of source philosophy and development of human beings. We can see the documents of ruling and guiding the human being, such as the Declaration of the Rights of the Man and the Citizen, Constitution of each country. All of these documents suggest us to respect each other, respect life, and since as cruel as capital punishment should be abolished and banned step by step.
So, to be honest, I completely agree and admire that point of abolishing capital punishment. But for our country, lovely Taiwan. In this moment, it is really appropriate to abolish the death penalty. In fact, I think we should try to work out a perfect and trustworthy legal system instead of discussing whether we should now abolish death penalty or not today. We often learn from news that some lawbreakers use their money or social status to escape from penalty and the corruption of police officers. Under this circumstance, how can we believe that law will give us justice without capital punishment? Thank you for listening.
Okay, really quick.